So, it seems a lot of people get confused. Matthew 7, verse 21 to 23. Which reads technically, starting with 21, it's not everyone that said unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Okay, it's super simple to break this down, and it's not some big thing you have to worry about. Well, sort of, if you're one of these types of people, which I'll explain. First, let's start with the first one. Not everyone, which is verse 21, not everyone that said unto me. So, not everyone. So that means not everyone, okay? It's like, it's not everyone. I have to make that clear for some of you. Will say to me, say unto me. So basically, you'll say to me, or, in this case, it'll be God. Try to make it more relatable. Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. So, that means that not everyone is going to tell God, please let me into the kingdom of heaven. That means some of you that even do beg will end up going to heaven, and some of you don't. That's why it says, not everyone that says it to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. Because you're basically asking or saying, please let me in. Unlike Christians who just say they don't deserve it to go, and by the mercy of Jesus Christ and what he did on the cross and paid for their sins, that's what the way they'll get in, right? But this is talking about the people who are saying that, please let me into the kingdom of heaven. Meaning those people, some will end up going to heaven, right? And some won't. Pretty sure it's because of the lack of knowledge and how much they read, because of course there are people out there in the world that die before reading the Gospels or getting the message of Jesus Christ, while there's others who got the whole entire message but still think they're saving themselves or they deserve something, So keep reading. Pretty sure it's talking about those types of people, because Christians already know how they're going to get into heaven. That's why they don't have to worry about this. So if you're a Christian or a real one, because it seems like there's so many fakes now, probably like 3 out of 7 they are real. Anyways, it says here, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So you will have to do the will of God, which is to choose life instead of choosing death. The same thing Moses did to the tribes back then, saying to the next generation, I won't be able to go to the promised land, but I will give you some words of advice or wisdom of God, meaning that to choose life instead of choosing death, because the death road is to destruction and life is everlasting. So, but we already know how that ended up. The people who didn't listen to Moses, which was, let's be honest, if you read it, it's the Old Testament, they decided to choose death, majority of them. So, and that's how it kept repeating until a while. But that's something for something else, for another video. So, moving on to 22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? Okay, so now the people who are in front of God are saying to him in that judgment day, right? Like, Lord, Lord, didn't I do this? Like, see, now that kind of sounds insulting, because you got to think about it. A lot of people don't think about it. Depending on which country you're from, right? A lot of people think you're treating God as a genie. It's just the same way when you ask him for something. Like, the way the Bible describes heaven, right? It's like a kingdom. And if those people, of course, I understand some people don't do their research on how kingdoms work, I'll break it down to you. Kingdoms actually work as a king, meaning there is no republic, no democracy, or no other type of government like that. Meaning there isn't a few couple of thousand or a couple of years where you replace your leader, right? Speaking to people in America, right? It doesn't happen like that. In a kingdom, a king is by blood, you know? So it's like, oh, he died. Okay, let's go with the princess or the prince. They'll either be the queen or the king. So, yeah, man. And you already know, if you did your research with history, you already know what happens to people who say, I'm not going by the rules of a king. They get their head chopped off by a sword, or get butchered or killed in front of a lot of people to make an example for them, right? So that's how kingdoms work. You can't say, oh yeah, screw your rules, whatever, and do your own thing. You can't do that. That's not how God's kingdom works. It's a kingdom, so it's not a republic or a democracy where you can vote your leader. It already has one. That's why it's a kingdom. It has a king already. So if we keep reading, it says, in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done wonderful works. Okay, so now that you got the kingdom perspective on your head, I am going to basically explain how it sounds. Just imagine you're talking to a king. You're basically saying, King, King, have I not said these things in your name? Have I not done these things in your name? And have I not done all these wonderful things in your name? You know, it's kind of like going to a general. Like, didn't I do this for you, for that, and for this? Like, give me something, you know? Doesn't work like that, man. But, you know, humans are selfish and bad. But these people are saying that they did everything so they can get a reward. And they did everything because they think this is the way to get to heaven. So just because you do good doesn't mean you're going to get saved. Because the people who only do good just to get good things are actually bad people. They're manipulators, you know, that's the way it works. You did something for this, meaning this is what I'm going to do. And when I'm in front of the king, I'm going to use everything I did and use it, quote unquote, against him so I can get a reward. In this case, the reward is to go to heaven and not go to hell. You see what I mean? It's kind of manipulative the way these people are thinking. Just in case you didn't know, that's what they're trying to do. Moving on to the last one, which is 23. And then will I prophesy unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So yeah, they got caught red-handed, which is, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say you did all these things because I gave you, quote unquote, the order and stuff like that, and you're trying to manipulate my response or answer and my decision. You're not really good. You're a manipulator. Get out of here. I don't even know who you are. You know, it's like that. The reason Christians, of course, they get really scared of this is because they think it's talking about them. I don't know how you got into that perspective, that you think it's like that. I think you have to read the Bible yourself, because I don't know how you got to that answer. If you're a Christian, like, why are you scared of that? But then again, like it just explained, a lot of people don't put real world things in the Bible, meaning perspective, right? Because a lot of people read the Bible as like some type of just a book, like some type of fairy tale or something. But you got to think about it. If he's God and he created everything and the Bible is the history, then study history, and history itself will tell you how things work, and history will prove that God's real. This is the reason why I got into this answer in specific video, which is just study history, study how things work. Basically, you will get your answer. Personal opinion, for those who skipped the whole entire thing, didn't listen, basically these individuals, they're asking God, meaning they're saying it like this: King, oh king, please let me in your kingdom. I did this and I did that. I did follow this order and I did that. I deserve it because I did it in your name. And then in their mind, they're like, yes, I'm doing all these good things, man. He's gonna let me in. Like, he's gonna let me in the kingdom, and I deserve the praise, and I deserve to be here. And it's like, and it's not. Because the whole point of God coming down to earth is because the first humans messed it up. They were being greedy and they chose themselves over God, and these individuals want to manipulate the response that the king is going to give to them. So they want it to be in their favor instead of the king making his own decision. They use examples and things they've done to say they deserve it, which a king, it's his choice to let you in or to let you not, to let you get away with this or to let you not get away with this. You know what I mean? It goes on the whole perspective of what God did. He's paying the fine in your court. It's already paid for if you just believe and have faith. But these people are saying, that doesn't matter. I did this, I did that, I should go to heaven. It's like you completely missed the whole point. God came down to earth because humans messed up. And they chose themselves. And history has shown that they chose death, and this is what it led up to. Overall, these individuals aren't Christians. And they kind of lack faith, or didn't even study the Bible themselves. So I'll say to you to read it, study history, study things in general, get different perspective from different creators and different people who talk about God, and put it all into one. And, you know, remove some things that you don't agree with, and you'll get your answer. It's that simple. That's how I found my answer. Hopefully this helped you. If it did, hopefully you start reading your Bible. If you're new to it, then I would say read the book of John. It's probably one of the best ones to read, in my opinion. You can do something like the way I did is like use YouTube, which is the Bible Project channel. Got a review of the whole entire book and then started reading. But I read from beginning to end. You can start from the book of John, but you can do the same thing. Watch a Bible Project video of a quick summary of what the book that you're about to read is about, then read it yourself, and do something I did not do the first time I decided to read it myself, which is get a notebook and start writing what you learned or what you think is like a question. It might be answered the more you read. Either way, hope it helped. If you have a different perspective, different answer, this didn't make sense, leave a comment down below. Subscribe to learn more, and I hope it actually did help. Of course, as always, Jesus Christ loves you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Stay blessed.